Hello, I'm Yules with YMCA South Coast. I'm here today at the Dartmouth Council on Aging to talk about the YMCA Diabetes Prevention Program.
Hi, I'm Nancy Miller. I'm the program coordinator at the Dartmouth Council on Aging, and we're very excited to collaborate with the Y and offer the Diabetes Prevention Program. So, Cy, what are the differences between the Medicare Prevention Program and the basic program?
So the Diabetes Prevention Program is a year-long program that is a lifestyle change program that we offer to help people who have pre-diabetes and qualify under a number of methods. The Medicare Diabetes Prevention Program can be a 2-year program. I say can be because if you go through the year-long program, you have to lose at least 5% of your weight. And then if you do lose 5% of your weight and continue to maintain that weight loss, there is a second-year option. So you can participate in more support, more support classes. In the second year, we meet monthly. But having said all that, I should back up. So if you lose 5 to 7% of your weight and you're over 60, the study that was done by the CDC and the National Institute for Health showed that people over 60, if they lose that percentage weight, can reduce their risk of developing diabetes by 71%.
Wow.
Which is a huge, you could delay or reduce the onset, which is really great. So the Diabetes Prevention Program has great results for helping to stem this epidemic. I know everyone's talking about the pandemic of coronavirus, but there's an epidemic of diabetes in this country. We have over 80 million people who have pre-diabetes and don't even know they have it. So this is a major health problem in our country today. So we at YMCA South Coast have been offering the Diabetes Prevention Program for 6 years now, and we've run a number of cohorts with great success. We, becoming CDC full recognized as an organization, we were allowed to apply to become a Medicare provider, and we did that, and we got approval to become a Medicare provider a year ago. And we are now trying to start classes, and then of course this pandemic occurred, and the CDC will not allow us to start a new cohort until hopefully the fall. Hopefully we can, find approval and find a way to keep people safe, of course. Because we meet in person, in the program we want to find a way to have people meet in person, participate. A major part of the program is the group interaction.
And this is a small group that meets?
So typically the group size is 12 to 18 people. We meet weekly for 16 weeks, and this applies to the regular program or the Medicare program. So we meet once a week for 16 weeks for 1 hour, just 1 hour a week. And then we meet every other week for 3 sessions, and then we go to once a month for the last 6 months. So it's 25 sessions over the first year, and that's the same for the Diabetes Prevention Program or the Medicare Diabetes Prevention Program.
And what do these sessions entail?
That is a really good question. That's a really good question. So in the first few weeks, we just talk about nutrition. The program focuses on fat reduction because fat has the greatest density of calories. So in order to help people jumpstart their weight loss program, we really have them focus on logging their fat intake and finding ways to reduce their fat intake. And I can tell you, when people start to do that, they do find that they reduce their weight. It's just basic chemistry. If you reduce your fat calories, you will reduce your fat. They go hand in hand. And then after the first 5 weeks of talking about nutrition, we introduce physical activity. So physical activity can be anything from just brisk walking, taking a brisk walk for 30 minutes a day. And we hope that people slowly increase their physical activity to 150 minutes a week, which is the CDC guidelines.
So there is some goal setting involved?
Thank you for asking that. Yeah, so the program goals, the diabetes prevention program has 2 goals. Reduce your weight by 7%, increase physical activity to 150 minutes. The Medicare diabetes prevention program has 2 goals. Reduce your weight by 5% and then the 150 minutes. Obviously, you want to reduce your weight as much as you can to, go beyond the 5%. But those are the 2 major goals for for each program. Some of the things we cover besides physical activity, like what constitutes physical activity, you could be doing a chair yoga class. You could be swimming, you could be biking, you could be walking briskly, you could be in a water pool aerobics class. There are many ways to get your physical activity that count toward that 150 minutes. But the other things we count, which are just lifestyle change, and I can't emphasize that enough. I'm going to say it at least 20 more times. The program is not a weight loss program. I'll say it again. It's not a weight loss program. We want you to lose weight, but the emphasis is making that lifestyle change so that it's for the rest of your life. So if you're in the Medicare diabetes prevention program, you're over 65.
Right.
So you've spent 65 years developing habits, and you're not going to change those in a week or 2 or 3. That's why it's a 2-year program. It takes a long time to make those changes and develop new habits that are healthier habits. And so that's why I emphasize the lifestyle change of the program. The program covers things like how do you go out to eat at a restaurant, which you're now allowed to do as of Monday. So you can now start going out to eat. Well, how do you order? What do you order? How can you communicate your dietary needs? Because many things on the menu are high in fat. So we help you learn, well, how can you ask the server to modify your order and have the kitchen make things a little differently? So, to help you when you go out to eat.
So you're providing the participants a lot of tools to change their lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Which, as you know, carries over into other parts of your life too.
It changes their life. It changes their family. There's a dynamic that happens when there's one person in the household that's in the program. The rest of the household either gets on board or they don't, and that can adversely affect the person, or it can positively affect the whole household.
Right.
You can see the whole household begin to lose weight, or you can see them sabotage them. And we help, part of our support, if you have a family member that's sabotaging as a participant, your goal, we can help you, figure out, well, what do you do? How can you address those issues? You have a jealous neighbor that kind of likes you being overweight and is really unhappy that you're starting to look really good, because you've lost weight and you're looking better, and they're going to bring you cookies and things, to sabotage your efforts. And you think I'm joking. It happens.
Really?
People are very funny about not being supportive. And it does happen, and people come to class and we talk about that, and we help people, figure out ways to help.
And it's nice that it's a small amount of people that participate, but it's a large enough group to provide a lot of support.
Absolutely.
And that's what you really need in a program like this.
Absolutely. You really do need that support. And I will tell you, in all the classes that I've taught, most people don't talk about, the number one thing they talk about in the success or positive, reviews of the class is not me, the coach, and not the material, it's the group. The group support is the number one thing that they refer to over and over again as being the most valuable part of it. So that's why, you can try, once again, a weight loss thing on your own, you could try some program on your own. The group dynamic of this program is incredibly powerful, and it works, it does work. So the other things we talk about holidays. I feel like we have a holiday every week. It feels like that, right? You have a holiday, you have a birthday, you have an anniversary. We're constantly finding reasons to not eat healthy food. And when you go to a cookout or you go to someplace, there's all these things that are high in fat, high in salt, high in sugar. And we help you figure out, well, how do I deal with that? How can I make changes to, maybe, and some of the things we come up with is maybe you don't eat so much. You eat some meals, but maybe save your calories for that party. Or maybe you eat a lot before you go to the party so you're not hungry. Whatever your strategy wants, whatever you want it to be, it's your choice. We don't tell you here's what you do. You learn to do what works for you, and that's an important aspect of the program. Some of the things we talk about is stress. I think with this pandemic going on, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are stress eating right now. They're at home. You can't go out as much. When you do go out, you're restricted to where and how you go out. So how do you deal with the stresses of being, stuck at home? What are some of the things you can do? When we have the program going, then we can help give you ideas for maybe watching YouTube videos, or maybe, you can call a friend and you can do a Zoom exercise with a buddy, and you can connect. And staying connected is so important. So, how you deal with stress? How do you deal with holidays? How do you deal going out to restaurants? Each week we talk about these various topics, and they all add up to an incredibly powerful lifestyle change over the year. There are some qualifications,
right,
for the program, which I think are worth talking about. For the regular program, you have to be over 18. You have to have a BMI over 25. And you have to have a blood value, if it's an A1C, a blood value between 5.7 and 6.4. So you have to be clinically pre-diabetic. You could have another fasting glucose between 100 and 125, if you can qualify with that blood value. For the Medicare Diabetes Prevention Program, they have very precise requirements that require a blood value. So for regular diabetes prevention, you can qualify just based on your BMI, just being overweight and being in the risk category. For Medicare, you must have a blood value from your doctor that's within the last year, and it has to be in that range. So that could be, so that's something else that has to happen for you to qualify for the program. It's worth noting that the regular program costs $429 for the year. If you have Medicare, Medicare is paying for the program, and they will pay for the program for 2 years. So that's
why it's ideal for us to offer it here at the center. We do have people that are 60, under 65, but we do have a large population of people over 65.
Yeah, so they would, if they have Medicare Part B, then they would qualify for the program, and it would pay for the program, which is an incredible benefit for the whole Dartmouth community, the greater Dartmouth community, that they can participate in the program. So that's why we're both excited about about being able to offer the program at this location, hopefully as soon as possible, as soon as we can. As I mentioned, we try to get 18 people, to sign up and do the program, because it's good to start with a group. Not everyone can make it every week. People have appointments, they travel, maybe not as much as they used to, but whatever, things come up. So we'd like to start out with a big group, so that there's a good core group that meets every week, and people look forward, to meeting with that group. I'm currently teaching a class. I've been doing it via Zoom, and staying in touch, and people really appreciate that weekly, connection. We're actually going to social distance and meet at Buttonwood Park today with masks and get outside for the first time in a while, just to do that, because we can, and we'll practice all the safe guidelines there. So it's very exciting. Very exciting to have the program, and we're excited to be able to offer it as soon as possible.
If you would like more information, you can contact me at the center. My name's Nancy Miller, or you can contact the YMCA.